Hey guys, I'll be talking about a bolt rifle grenade launcher build for the tactical class in patch 10.3 of Space Marine 2. Now, the bolt rifle grenade launcher is actually preferred by a lot of people over the Combi Melta currently. The grenade launcher gives you enormous CHP regen on the alternative fire. It's pretty strong, not as strong as it used to be like pre-patch 6.0 when it had infinite ammo basically, but still pretty damn good. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take Headhunter first to build that headshot damage on our bolt rifle component. The bolt rifle component on the grenade launcher bolt rifle is not amazing, but it's not horrific, so like building to this headshot damage is still pretty valuable, especially if you have perks like Adamant Hunter active. When your health is below 30%, headshots still 25% more damage. Usually you don't want to be below 30% HP on a tactical class, but having this 25% damage increase does help a ton, so I do like to pick this one up. Next perks I grab here are things like Able Reload, which is after using a class ability, the equipped weapon instantly reloads. This is not super useful on tactical, but still comes into play occasionally. And the next perk here, Recoupment, is amazing. Hitting a Majora's level or higher enemy with a headshot, this weapon restores one armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Having a long-range option for armor restore in Space Marine 2 is really useful in this game. This perk actually helps out a lot more than you'd think, especially versus things like Devourers, because there are times in this game where you will simply be in a long-range, like range fest, and being able to get that armor back on a single headshot will eliminate chip damage, so really great for that. Next perk here is Great Might for 10% bonus damage against Terminus, and then we take the perk here, Increased Capacity, because this does buff up the total capacity of our grenades. Now I do skip over the perk Tactical Precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage, non-headshot damage decreases by 10%, because this does actually nerf the grenade portion of our bolt rifle here, which does suck, especially for this build. So instead I take the perk Cleaving Fire, moving into the perk Rampage. After killing 7 enemies in rapid succession, you deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Cooldown is 15 seconds. This perk is very easy to trigger off your grenade launcher, which really helps us buff up our damage. And the final perks I grab are Extended Magazine, which further gives us even more grenades. And the final 2 perks are Divine Might and Headhunter once again for bonus headshot damage and bonus grenade launcher damage. That's pretty much all there is for the bolt rifle. Now for the secondary weapon, I do take the new Heroic Bolt Pistol. Now first of all, this looks really good on my Subjugator outfit, so I like it a lot. It also has great CHP recovery, great headshot damage, and pretty decent ammo economy. I think this is by far the best version of any of the bolt pistols currently, and it's really my favorite secondary in the game. Now obviously the rate of fire plasma is better, but to get the full benefit out of this, we would have to take the perk here Plasma Boost. I'm going to be taking Balanced Distribution just so I can get that full grenade launcher damage instead. If you want to use this one or even the heavy bolt pistol, you definitely could. Now as far as the Heroic Bolt Pistol goes for the perk tree, I do take the perk Perpetual Precision first, moving here into the perk Headhunter to take more headshot damage. Then I grab things like Increased Capacity, Gunstrike Reload, Headhunter again. They're pretty self-explanatory on these perks, they're quite simple, but the best perk here is by far Elite Hunter. After killing a Majora's level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 50% more damage for 10 seconds. Now, to actually trigger this, you can get a finisher on a Majora's, not just a kill on a melee weapon, but I'll also say that to trigger the effect, you do have to have your bolt pistol equipped. If you swap off of it at any point while it's active, you will lose this 10-second timer, so just keep that in mind. And the final perks I grab here are Headhunter, the perk Extend Magazine, and of course Divine Might for 10% more damage. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary weapon. Now for the melee weapon selection, I do take a Blockchain Sword. I think the Blockchain Sword is by far the best option on tactical currently, mainly because getting a 60% range damage reduction upon a perfect block for 2 seconds is some of the only damage reduction this class can get whatsoever, on top of the fact that getting armor regen versus Majora's, Extremis, and bosses is top tier. I think it's a far better option than things like fencing or balance. Now for the perk tree here, I would take Perpetual Strength first. I'm moving here to the perk Swift Recovery. Getting 100% more contested health on your heavy attacks helps a ton of times. There are moments where you'll just need to get more CHP back, and this will push you over the edge for that, so really strong for that option. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength, up here into the same perk Perpetual Strength once again for a flat 10% melee damage buff. Then I move over here into the perk Reverberating Impact. Stomp area effect radius increases by 50%. Now, since we have a 3 speed on the block weapon, we really don't need perks like Saw Blade for an increased light combo length, and having this extra stomp area effect can really help a lot. Next perk here is Combined Onslaught, which doesn't do a ton for us, but we have to take this, move into the perk Heavy Onslaught. Heavy attacks with this weapon deal 15% more melee damage. Heavy attacks are very powerful on the Chainsword, and this helps out a ton here. And the next perk is Full Throttle for the combo skip. And the final 2 perks I grab are Minora Slayer and Extremis Slayer for extra damage. I think Extremis Slayer is very useful in this build, and that's pretty much all there is for the melee weapon. Now, for our perk tree, I do pick up Balanced Distribution first. Your primary weapon deals 10% more damage, but your secondary weapon deals 10% less damage. I am primarily building around my grenade grenade launcher here. The 10% loss in damage on our secondary does kind of suck, but we make up for it later with aligned aim. Next perk here is Heightened Vigor. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you deal 10% more melee and gunstrike damage, do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This is an incredible perk in this game. No knockback simply saves your life, and this one also gives you bonus melee and gunstrike damage on top of that. Very powerful perk, far better than the perk here Relentless Pursuit, because this one just doesn't last long enough, and the perk over here Versatility is very strong, but not remotely as strong as a no knockback effect. If you're playing by yourself or in like Hard Siege, I would definitely pick this up, because otherwise you will get stun locked sometimes. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. Killing a Majora's level or higher enemy restores your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Not super optimal, but not horrific by any means. Now, obviously, if you're playing in Siege mode, I would probably just spam ammo boxes and take steady aim instead, because being able to boss nuke with precise calibration and concentrated fire is far more important than getting back like 1 grenade. And really, ammo boxes are super cheap anyways. There's a pretty top-tier combo we'll get into later with spare power on that. So if you're playing Siege mode, I would take this. If you're playing Operations and Hard Strat, I take this. Next perk here is Aligned Aim. Range damage increases by 15% for all squad members. I'm simply building around my grenade launcher like I mentioned before, and I actually love Aligned Aim. I think the bonus damage feels really good. Obviously, Secure Stockpile is the best perk in this entire row and probably the best team perk in-game currently. Equipment charge restored by 1 for all squad members. Cooldown is 60 seconds. 60-second melt-a-bombs, crack grenades, shock grenades, and even frags are just kind of OP for your entire team. If you're playing Siege mode, just take this perk. It will carry your entire game. But if you're playing in Operations or Hard Strats, you just want to have like a little bit of fun time with extra range damage, I would pick this one up instead. Or you can even take the perk Transhuman Physiology, but to be honest, I don't think you need this at all because the CHP regen of your grenade launcher is incredibly powerful already. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning Extremis or Terminus level enemy restores your Auspex scans charge by 50%. This simply gives you more Auspexes versus bosses and Extremis, which is what you want to use them on anyways, so really good top tier perk here for sure. And the next 2 perks I take are Precise Calibration and the perk Concentrated Fire, because these 2 perks combined make your Auspex boss nuking potential absolutely insane. One of the best combos in the entire game. It makes you one of the greatest support characters in Space Marine 2. And the final perk I grab here is the signature perk Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant area of effect damage in a 10-meter radius. Cooldown is 90 seconds. This perk will carry your ass at times. There are moments where you will basically kill like 9 Extremis, or not 9 Extremis, 9 Majoris at once, or catch like 2 Extremis out. Very powerful, will completely save your life in a boss fight. I think this is by far the best signature perk. Marked for Death used to be okay, but now it's been totally power crept by the amount of enemies are in Absolute, and the perk up here, Signal Jammer, has always been awful. Now, for the Prestige perks here, I do take Acuity first. Each consecutive headshot increases headshot damage by 3% up to 15%. The bonus lasts 5 seconds without a headshot. This still helps us out for the bolt rifle portion of our weapon and our secondary. Now, I will say, if you're playing Siege mode, I would just skip this for spare power because your grenade launcher is way more important. Getting back your ability to charge off an ammo box simply lets you spam Auspex and your nades over and over. Super OP combo, to be honest, but incredibly valuable. And the next perk here is Skill Supplier. Ammo reserve increases by 15%. This does increase the ammo capacity of our grenade launcher, so pretty much always take this. And the final 2 perks I grab are Resilience for better stims and Fortitude for a health increase of 15%, because getting better survivability on the tactical is incredibly valuable. One of the best perks in the entire game, because health is just super valuable in Space Marine 2. That's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The bolt rifle with the grenade launcher is by no means terrible. It's pretty fun to use. The CHP recovery on your grenades is amazing. It'll basically take you to full off a single nade. Really strong for that. And if you want to take this into Siege mode, like I said before, I would take Secure Stockpile, I would take Steady Aim, and Spare Power. But that is up to you. Hopefully this build guide helped, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, take it easy. Bye.
Target seeks to mobilize reinforcements and eliminate. Brace yourself, brothers!
Wherever the chapters in the Starties, Retributors, they are actually lore now. Wow, that's tragic.
Stern direct me to where I can place these charges.
think that was worth it.
Mine reels from the stone throne's death. Target is rallying, sir. Push! Halt it!
Not yet.
Our foe will not best us with numbers. Direct me to where I can place these charges. Auspex deep scan web. Changing magazine.
That sucks. I almost replay that, see if it ate my second parry there.
We severed the Zoan Throne's connection to the hive. Direct me to where I can place these charges.
I'm curious if it ate my parry. I might have just been a goof on my part though. The second one definitely was, but Whip Warriors are pretty mean. We had Undivided in Space Marine 1, Zinch in Space Marine 2. Yeah, as far as new factions go for Space Marine 3, I would just love to see Eldari. We just haven't really seen them represented. We don't really see that much Eldari combat with Astartes in any of the games they've done.
Reloading. Enhanced visual input. Administering self-aid. Nowhere left to dig now. We require multiple detonations for our demolition. We broke the Xenos onslaught. Pathetic tool. All specs ready to scan.
Hey, Whip Warriors. Hate the Whip Warriors. Delete them, please. They are pretty annoying.
Swapping magazine.
Not like that wasn't a triple Ravener spawn. I would use my stim earlier if it was a triple. Triple spawn on Ravener is pretty rough. I think Lictor's is way worse, though.
Explosives prepared.
Even as a Necron stand, I can agree that Eldar are underrepresented. A really good point. Yeah, you're going to see them fight Astartes and everything. They're one of the coolest interactions, I feel.
Disgusting Tyranid stuff.
Yeah, sit there and take it.
Rearming.
They should add the Angels in Carmine and Sons of Sanguinius to the successor pack for Blood Angels if they do another one. I agree. Angels in Carmine are a very interesting chapter. If you're unaware, Angels in Carmine are my favorite Blood Angels successor chapter, and they wear alabaster white armor on their Death Company. And they have an unusually high amount of guys that come to the Black Rage, even compared to other successors. Is Heavy Bolter even usable against Chaos Spawn? Yeah, I did a solo with it a few days ago. It doesn't feel like amazing, but it's definitely usable. You can definitely kill him with it. That takes 2 armor bars off. I think I missed a second hit.
That is all of them. Bring on the monstrosity.
The Hive
Let's chop that guy in
will
half.
position shortly. Join the Imperial Guard defenses up on the bridge and lure that Xenos Colossus into the kill zone.
Hot take, Apothecary armor looks cool, we should have it in the game. Maybe if they ever actually add an Apothecary.
Suspects engaged. Exterminate. Reloaded. No telling what surprises await.
How was the stream, FTG? Pretty good, Mello. What's up? Let's see. Night Lords would be cool, but pretty annoying to deal with. They do have invisibility. I mean, so do we. Runs can get so long in this difficulty. This is actually the fastest map. Easiest, too. I find that the bolt weapons in this game are just far better versus the Tyranids than they are Chaos. Headshot multipliers are obviously broken on Chaos Spawn currently.
Our target is a hive tyrant. Once we kill it, the relay will be secure. Without armor support,
That turns a joke of a boss, sadly, yeah. Probably this is the easiest mission. It's fun to fight, though. Mutilith is way more fun. I know a lot of people don't like the Mutilith Vortex Beast, but I think he's the best boss in the game.
on the rooftops.
Give us Chaplain drip in the PPS. We might get. I feel like we might get a Chaplain next after Tech Marine. Of all the new ones they'd give us, Chaplain just makes the most sense to me. Because Chaplains, you know, Apothecary, Saber's not a big fan of killing mechanics in the game already. I think they said they didn't want to add big ring icons of perk, which shouldn't even exist in this game. So the idea of an entire healing class, I don't think they're ever going to do that. But Chaplain. I used to like fighting the Hive Tyrant, but then after killing him dozens of times, I don't know. It's pretty easy. He's also the oldest boss in the game, though. That's how, like, the Carnifex is, you know, the base terminus. What about Librarian, though? I feel like they won't add Librarian. I wish they did, but I don't think they will.
Fresh magazine in.
That would be sick, though. Add Extremis to the Hive Tyrant already? True. He would definitely benefit from Extremis spawns. Oh, look at the accuracy of the bloom on this thing. It's not great. Librarian would be too much effort with all the warp stuff. I think they could make it work. I just don't think they want to go that far. I think Chaplain is just a much easier option for them and has way more straightforward abilities and perks. Chaplain gives Chaos a stern talking to. Alright, let's grab this ammo box. They could put in the newer Apothecary Biologist, no focus on healing, but more focus on enemy debuffing, cool Gravis Armor too. That'd be kind of neat. You know, the more I think about it, Tech Marine does make a lot of sense to be the first one they add. Because it is quite straightforward and different enough from the ones we have currently. I don't know, guys, what new class do you want in this game? What new class? Anything? Does he charge the sword because he's blocking? How is that working? So what I'm using is a block weapon. Basically, instead of a parry, you get a perfect block. Upon your perfect block, you will get what is called an Adrenaline Surge Charge. That's represented in the upper left corner underneath your HP bar. It'll have like a little 1 number under it. The next melee attack you do whatsoever will give you a 30% melee damage buff that lasts for like 2 seconds. And if you use any attack and you don't hit anything, it'll use up the charge. So I'll show you right now. So if I shoot this guy, okay, or his friend. So see it says 1 there? So if I attack anything right now, it'll use that charge. And if I do it again, I'll get another charge. They actually decided to attack me. See, now it's 2. So my next attack now does 90% damage. And then see that little buff goes off as he explodes. You guys do armor back too. Obviously I'm in game, it's a little hard to explain, but I'm trying my best. I mean, this work on all classes and all weapons. Every block weapon does this, yes. Every single one. So once you have 2 charges, you get armor back in your next hit like this. See, our hand's glowing extra bright. That means we have 2. That's the worst one to actually practice it on because they're actually pretty dangerous. But you get a giant explosion, immense damage, increase of 90% on top of armor. And stagger. For like 2 seconds. That's where the grenade launcher is pretty good. Oh yeah, there's also a 60% range damage reduction upon gaining adrenaline surge charge for 2 seconds. That is very strong. That's probably the best part about it, outside the damage. I mean, obviously it's the only part about it outside the damage. Like that and the armor, very defensible. Triple Lictor dealt with smooth as butter. Yeah, we kind of got our camera angle got sent around on the gun strike on that one, which sucks. But what are you gonna do?
We have it routed.
Is this info in the game somewhere? No, not at all, which is why everybody thinks block weapons suck in a lot of cases, because they don't tell you anything in this game. There's no tutorial for them. It's a massive, massive problem. There's a patch note that tells you. A patch note from like 6 months ago. Ridiculous, it doesn't tell you anything. And they're about to have a new demo for this game, so like how the hell are any players gonna know? They're gonna see block and say like, I like my parrying, this makes no sense to me. Parrying is in the actual tutorial for this game.
You are fertilizer now,
Oh, I should grab that. A lot of warriors, man. Yeah, for all those nades I sent out. Yeah, for all those grenades. There's so damn many of these guys. What is balance giving you? Both? No, it's giving you a negative frame startup on your parry. What that means is the initial portion of your parry you cannot perfect parry on. You'll get like a block effect, basically. Get a little bit of a stagger on your guy. And then after that window is over, you can perfect parry them. So you have to preemptively parry. This is the worst parry window in the game. basically think about it like this. If you parry upon pressing the button for your block weapon or your fencing weapon, you will instantaneously have a parry window active. For balance, you don't. You have to preemptively. That's a better way to put it. I mean, it's exactly the same way to put it, but hopefully it gives you a better idea. AFTG, what melee weapon should I use on my assault class? Any one you want.
Changing magazine. All specs ready to scan.
So balance sucks dick. That's good stats, but yeah, like as an actual parry mechanic, it's not very good at all. Parry is good practice to get the timing down, but block opens up so many avenues for skill expression. I agree with that.
The hive mind loathes our victory.
No, FTG, that's not how you respond to that. I mean, the best one's the power fist, but whichever one you want to use on the assault.
Tell us a report.
We are after
Brother is
Xenos
playing so
overlord.
well, he must be hydrated as hell. Oh, we're very
Tell us who
hydrated.
you cut out. Repeat.
So hydrated.
Nothing but static now. Is this the dead zone? Do not worry. When the hive tyrant is
Now, because
dead,
of you, I need to learn
Lieutenant
block
Winfield
on my bulwark. Bulwark definitely benefits from block a lot. Not a bad plan.
Prospect tagged us. That one calls for reinforcements. Brace yourselves, brothers. More are incoming. Pathetic tyranny of bodies. Target is rallying reserve forces. Halt it! There will be no allies for that! All deep scan ready. Activating all specs advanced. Another Xenos fireball eliminated. Rearming. It is going
Water
above
for the
board.
water god.
Let us try to head it off.
Yes, the god of all humans. Water. The water gun. Water within, water without.
Reloading.
Man, I just used all of my accolades on the Xenophase blade. Xenophase blade looks cool and is fun.
Fresh munitions.
Not a bad choice. Definitely one of the better ones.
Stay close and sharp.
No boss spawn, that's kind of lame.
We have it now, brothers. All specs ready. For the glory of Ultra!
Oh, never mind.
Changing magazine.
I'm gonna save my aspects for the ads because you can get frame trapped by this guy. Usually not in the first wave. It's just really easy to blow him up. There it is. The xenophobic blade. That's true. We call the xenophase.
fertilizer. Swapping magazine.
Now that unblockable is like the only unblockable in the whole game that you can't perfect dodge. Because you know gun strike, I should say.
Rearming. Full specs prime. That is new test. Raw energy readings just shot past fatal levels.
So on that attack, he will do 2 lights and then immediately go into an unblockable in the second phase. So you can still get the perfect block charges off. Or you know, if you're parrying. Very easy.
Changing magazine.
Yeah, I didn't do that time. See this one? Perfect dodge that though. That's actually very predictable AI. Look at that. Thing coming. All right, enraged guy.
Immensely all specs.
That's unfortunate.
Exterminating.
That's what the grenades are good for. 3 electros over the hive timer, pretty much.
Fresh magazine in.
You were the guy once, you're no longer the guy.
All specs ready to scan. There is. I will not wait.
I learned to play the class correctly and now it's fun. What class were we talking about? So I wasn't reading that. Right, that's it. That is the grenade launcher build. The modern one, anyways. Not as good as the pre-patch one, obviously. Definitely better in siege mode, though I would take steady aim. But for the most part, it's pretty good. Still works.